How sweet it is to be loved by you nerds. What is up? It's me, your buddy pal HeyArcher. Welcome back to HeyArcher Live here on Nerd Affiliated. So happy to have you guys here with me tonight on this exciting night. It's a short week at work, so therefore it's exciting. But you're here for your Thursday night nerdy talk show where we sit back and relax. I said we sit back and relax. And hopefully by now, as I try to clear food out of my mouth, there you go. You've poured yourself just a little bit of,
more specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
oh, that was good. That was good. Delish. We have a fun show in store today because we have no plan. We're going to wing it old school style. But of course, if you have a YouTube channel, podcast, blog, OnlyFans, newsletter, or smoke signals, whatever it may be, put in the chat, support one another, plug yo shits. We have some new shows to talk about. Wednesday just dropped today, so maybe I'll cover that a bit. No spoilers, of course. I'm all in on Alien Earth now. Came out of nowhere. So we'll talk about that. We got the HasLab, of course, to talk about, and a fun announcement, exciting news. You probably already know what it is if you're observant enough. I actually tried to wear these glasses first, but I couldn't see the screen. But you know what they say, without further ado, we'll bring in, I can't, it's weird. At like certain angles, I can't see the monitor. I'm just legit blind. We'll bring in the man, the myth, the legend. It's me. Yo soy el problema. It is me. Yeah, I can't see. I gotta switch it out. We'll go with these. We'll go with the my Spanglers, aka my Potters. You would have had to go with glasses, would you? Name that movie. But again, happy to see you guys here tonight. Sorry, I was a bit tardy to the party, but I updated the time with like a minute to go just so you had a heads up. That was going to be a little bit longer. Tad bit longer. But we arrived. We're here. You guys are here. There's one thing I wanted to do and I can't. That's all right. I'll do it later. So before we get the show on the road, we'll do shameless plugs, of course. Just knock it out of the park. Heads up, not many of you were there, but if you do go that direction, our Reddit page is down. Currently, it's banned. I blame Sal.
More specifically, vodka,
I blame Sal.
whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
Sal was running the page. He was running the page, and we got banned. He thinks he got hacked. So the nerd affiliated Reddit page is down. It will be reborn. No worries. It will be reborn. So heads up, if you go to Reddit, we're not there, but we're on everything else. But if you need links to everything, you could, of course, hit us up at nerdaffiliated.com. Your one-stop shop for all things nerd affiliated, whether it's our latest videos, which we dropped one today, our latest lives you could find there. You could find links to join the Nerd Foundation, links to photographs, clips, all that fun stuff. And of course, If you're into the Ghostbusters side of things, we do have the Real Nerdbusters as well, where you'll find links to all that stuff. And of course, a link to tools and talent props where you can use code HeyArcher, save yourself. I always get this wrong. I think it's 15%. But you can find us there. But if you want to find another way to support us in today's fun news, as promised, and as you probably observed, we got some new merch in the store.
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
Now, I didn't get a chance to do my photos like I usually do. Really busy with work. Just couldn't find the time. Was editing the video that dropped today. So I'll update the photos soon enough. But for now, you have to deal with the fun mock-up photos. If you would. The one I'm currently rocking is hopefully the first in a ongoing series. We have the Real Nerdbusters Northeast Division. Hopefully at some point we'll expand. But we're starting off with the Northeast. You have some fun Easter eggs on the back as far as the places that we cover. So it's up to you to figure out where some of those are from. Some are more obvious than others. But one that I'm pretty excited for is this one here, our Groovy Nerd hoodie. Again, up to you to figure out where do you believe the Easter egg is from. Actually, it says it in the description. I forgot to put that there. So to me...
Boo! Rubbish! Filth! Slime! Muck! Boo! Boo! Boo!
I actually have it here. It's one of the ones I wanted to see in person before I put it to go live. So here on the back, you got that. And then the new thing I was trying was actually doing a design on the back. I don't really do designs on back of the merch if you've been paying attention to that. So all of this, for the most part, has a design on the front and design on the back. On the front, you have a more discreet, nerd-affiliated name there. So check them out. A lot of cool stuff there. And yeah, unfortunately, for reasons you probably already can assume, the prices had to go up because of a friend of ours. Sorry. So if you can't do it, it's all right. I just, for my own conscience, for my own sanity, I had to do a fall drop. I wanted it to be themed for the season. So you have Stranger Things type inspired logo, and then the one I mentioned, and there's another one there which will be pretty obvious. So make sure you go ahead, check those out, and of course our previous releases. But all right, got that out the way. Excited for that one. Let's say hi to everybody in the chat. Oh, you guys have been going. Dave's Dimension in the house. Good to see you. There you go. That was our fun announcement that the new merch dropped. And I guess happy birthday to Jason David Frank, because the camera has decided to focus on him. Maybe Jason David Frank's in the room right now. It is that time of the year. So there you go. Maybe Eric James is here too. The Rambling Nerd in the house. Good to see you. Keeps jumping away. I'll have to lose the glasses for now. Hopefully that helps. K-Wall Comedy in the house. Good to see you, Kathy. You predicted 823. I think you were close. I think I actually did I think I did actually hit the button at 820. Maybe at worst 821, but I was close. Jamie in the house. Generation X-Wing in the house. Good to see you. Make sure you guys check out that podcast. Make sure to check out K-Wall Comedy, Pop Culture Kids, Ramblin' Nerd here, of course, Dave's Dimension. Ultra Carta in the house. Good to see you. Make sure you check him out as well. Tony in the house. Good to see you. Hey, how's everyone doing tonight? Cutthroat Comics in the house. Good to see you. It's been a while. Check out that podcast as well. Everybody saying hi to each other. Love that. Someone pour me a double. Yeah. Love that. I need a sweet tea. You know, I've never been a fan of sweet tea. Never been my thing. Tried it once. Because I don't like things that are like super sweet. That's the thing. So, you know, I said thing like too many times for that one short topic. But somebody in my freshman orientation was from like South Carolina or something. And I remember there was a group of us that were hanging out. She was like, man, I can go for some sweet tea right now. And we were like, what's that? And she said, what? You don't know what sweet tea is? What? And we went out to try to find it. I think we found it. I think that's the one time I had it. Not for me. Not for me. Dada Films in the house. Good to see you. Archie got those Stevie Wonder, the Stevie Wonders going on with those shades. It, yeah, Stevie Wonder / like a 2000s, but then also I guess 90s. Look, I was going for 90s with this, but I'm telling you, like I can look dead ahead at you guys. I see all of this with the monitor. If I look dead on at the monitor, I can't see it. It like blacks out. If I look to the side, I can see it. If I adjust where I'm standing a little bit, I can see it. And I can see my computer, my laptop monitor. Not this one. Don't know what's going on there. You're popular now. You got banned. I even tried to stand off the stand. Oh, about the figure you got. Nice. I was gonna say Goonies. Yeah, one of the things that a lot of us were toying around with was what would inspire us on this drop, and I don't think we did a Goonies one. I believe, if I remember the conversation, I was saying that Goonies, I don't think it's like a proper Halloween film. So I was going for everything to be, you know, Halloween-ish or adjacent. I don't think Goonies is that movie. There was a Monster Squad one, but I don't think that one made the cut. I made that Lost Boys one. The squad vetoed that one. I might still release it. I might still go for it. See what happens. Stop focusing on Jason. And there's a couple other ones. So if we do a wave 2 for the holiday season or the Halloween season, you'll see those. I don't want to spoil everything. You also got your 6th and final classified retro Cobra Trooper. Nice. JDS Spirit, rather be with Archer than Bat in the Sun. I don't think that's too soon. Looking good. Thank you. You have to have sweet tea in the South. They don't know how to do it in the north of the, they don't know how to do it north of the Mason-Dixon line. I believe that. Might have to leave to watch my Eagles beat up on the Cowgirls. Love that. How about Lost Boys movie? Yeah, I just saw it for the first time. But I left my thumbs up to make sure you do the same. Yes, everybody, make sure if you can, leave a thumbs up here on the stream. If you're watching replay, by all means, please leave a thumbs up. But you reminded me of this. I want to bring it up once again. since we were just talking about the Lost Boys. So I mentioned it last week. I'll probably say these reminders, as we get further into the year and as we hit Halloween. But we have the letter. Man, I don't know why my allergies now feel like they're flaring up. I didn't have this issue earlier today, but I feel like every time I start doing the show, for some reason, it just it kicks in. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I mentioned it last week. Like I said, I'll say it probably weekly until we get through Halloween. But we have the Halloween 2025 news/revisit series where I'm checking out movies that I either have never seen or it's been so long I don't remember much to anything about them. I might remember a couple scenes here and there, but for the most part, I don't remember a lot of them. So I haven't made a lot of ground since we last spoke. I think I had 3 out of these 4 the last time we spoke. The latest one was Ernest Scared Stupid. I used to love those movies. This one, I knew there was a troll involved, but I couldn't remember the details of that. So it was fun to watch that again. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And for Christmas, maybe I'll watch Ernest Saves Christmas. I was also like, why doesn't John Cena do an Ernest movie? You've seen those side by sides, right? With the two of them together. I mean, they didn't meet each other, but he kind of looks like it. But you guys were saying to watch the sequels to Lost Boys. Interesting. Usually sequels like that don't do very well, but you guys are saying to check them out. Where did I leave off? Yeah, you should check out 2 and 3 if you like the first one. And K-Walk loved Lost Boys. Great Scott Prop Shop. Good to see you, West. I'm not a horror fan, but I love the 80s. Yeah. So the theme here with these movies are like 80s, 90s, kind of cheesy horror movies. I'm not like going for the most like gory movies or the most, this is the truly scariest movie of. I'm going for like the fun, teetering the line one. So like on the watch list, can you guys see the watch list? Yeah. So you guys last week told me to watch House and Barbarian. So I added that on here. I'm sure those are on the like real horror side. And then we added 3 vampire things here. I had never seen Interview with a Vampire, so I want to watch that. I've never seen Twilight, so I was like, F it. I'll add that to the list. Check that out. I added Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. She's going to be at TerrorCon this weekend. TerrorCon this weekend. I think I saw that movie. Or I saw one of the Elvira movies, but I don't remember if it was like the OG one. So if I get to it, I'll watch it. Little Shop of Horrors. Not sure if it counts as a Halloween movie. I feel like it does. But I think I saw that when I was like 7 or something. So again, all I remember is I think Steve Martin gets eaten in the movie. I think that's all I remember. And of course, Feed Me, Seymour. And then lastly, the most recent ad, A Vampire in Brooklyn. Nilda, I believe, was watching that. She posted it on Instagram, and I was like, oh, I forgot about that movie. Never saw it. Add it to the list. So the only thing that told me back from some of these is I believe most of these are not on any streaming apps that I currently have. So I'd have to rent them. So, I think for the most part, if these are rentals, I'm going to wait as we get further into the year or into the season, because usually they do like deals, to promote Halloween and stuff. So I'll probably wait for most of these to get to that point. But yeah, the link to the letterbox is down below. Let me know on the Letterboxd, on the profile, in the comments, what I should watch. Give me any suggestions. Legacy of Nerd in the house. Good to see you, Daniel. Know what I mean? You agree 2 was good. Everybody saying hi to each other. Good to see you as well. Yep. Hocus Pocus. Oh yeah. I rewatched that for the first time, I want to say 2 years ago. And then I watched with my wife part 2 last year. I thought I had like a bruise here. It's the light behind me. Yeah, we watched part 2 last year. I forgot part 2 even existed. It was okay. But yeah, I remember the first one. I watched it a couple times. I'll put that in rotation this year. Melissa says the OG Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Funny you mentioned that. That is not on the watch list, but it was on my mental list. I was talking about it with the guys. I'm going to add that right now. Let's see. Buffy. Now, I'd seen it before. You know, again, as a reminder, a lot of these things I was not allowed to watch. So if I saw it, it was, in hiding. I didn't realize he was the bad guy. What's his name? That's not Donald Sutherland. No. Wow, Hilary Swank is in it. Ricky Lake's in it. David Arquette. Rutger Hauer. I didn't realize he was the bad guy in that. Crazy. Thomas Jane's in it. It's wild how Paul Rubens is in it. This is nuts. How the star is not even the biggest person in this movie. It's everybody else. Everybody else is huge. That's funny. So yeah, this was on my mental list. I just forgot to add it, but now it's added. And actually, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, I added it to my Amazon watch list. Did not add it to this watch list. So thank you for that reminder. I'm looking at my keyboard. It's doused in cat hair. So maybe that's why. Although I'm not really that allergic, but I guess I am. Got that one. Cutthroat said Pumpkinhead. I don't remember that one. I'll add it on. Why not? Pumpkinhead. From 1988. All right, I'm guessing that's definitely more in the extreme horror side. Oh, that's yeah. That's funny. He's in that too. We'll add that. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I don't think I've seen that. What about some more fun ones? Which one should I watch? The 56, 78, 2007? Which one am I going for? Man Collects in the house. Good to see you. Remember, I still want some fun ones. I don't want them all to be ultimate horror movie as far as gore and rated R and MA. 78, okay. Donald Sutherland again. There you go. Seeing a theme here. Didn't I just add those? Where'd they go? Didn't I just click add to watch list? Oh, I was doing watched. Duh. You guys didn't stop me. Let's see. Let me go back. Watch list. Go back. Watch list. Back. Yeah. Now we're talking. And you have Trick or Treat. That's a fun one. All right. Let's try that. '86. We're going for the OG on this one too. I'm assuming you mean '86. Let me know. So yeah, that's what we got going on. I'm excited to get through some of these, and like I said, get through some other ones. If this, cheesy ones. I haven't seen the. I remember I watched The Blob. I put Blob. Is this? Yeah, the OG's 58. Yeah, with Kevin Dillon. I remember watching that at one point. Mr. Boogedy. All right, I'll look that one up. How about those comedy horror? Yeah. Give me more of those, like the comedy horror ones. Killer Tomatoes, yeah, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I remember those the cartoon. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Let's see, 78. Add that. For Trick or Treat, you prefer 2007. All right. Shaun of the Dead. It's been long enough. I don't remember the full plot of that. I remember a good amount, but it's been a long enough time. We can add that. They done dropped the whole Street Fighter cast list. Yeah, we can talk about that too. But yeah, if you have any ideas, like I said, head over to Letterboxd, and you should be able to see my list. And you can add a comment on there, just like Nolda did. So there we go. Let's talk about a couple TV shows real quick that I've been thoroughly enjoying. Staying on the horror kick here. Yep, Zombieland, seen it. Warm Bodies, I think I started it and I didn't care for it. I can always try it again. Alien Earth. Really enjoying it now. I think what I need to start doing is giving shows a 3 episode buffer. The first episode, I didn't mind it too much. I actually enjoyed it. But episode 2 and even 3, I was kind of like, 2, I just got through it. 3 started and I stopped. But everybody just keeps talking so highly about it. And I was like, all right. Oh, yeah, there's a link down below. Everybody has been talking about it. #1 streaming show. So I was like, all right, let's go back in. I'll put it on in the background while I'm doing some work. And I'm starting to dig it. I'm really starting to dig it. And it's funny because the reasons I'm starting to enjoy the show are similar to the reasons I didn't like the show. I think the biggest thing I didn't like that I haven't seen actually, I felt like in episode 2, there was a lot of things happened. I think it was almost like a filler episode. Like people were put in these situations for no reason. The alien would show up and then disappear for no reason. It just didn't. These aren't spoilers, by the way. I felt like episode 2 was just like a filler. Like we got to get 8 episodes. We only have 7. Here's blank. That's what it felt like. So I didn't dig episode 2 that much. But what I've been enjoying about the show that I mentioned was like kind of I was on the fence about it. I was liking it, but I was kind of on the fence. Was the expansion of the lore of everything. I guess more specifically, the expansion of whatever this thing is. Now, what I'm going to do is spoil Prometheus. If you haven't seen Prometheus by now, you probably have no intention. This also goes along the lines of the Covenant, but oh, okay. The one of the cool things about Prometheus and Covenant were this idea that the xenomorphs are a type of whatever this thing is. For lack of better phrasing, I'm going to say the virus. It's not really a virus, but that's the easiest way for me to explain it. There's this virus, this organism that exists, and as it infects different things and people, it acts differently. And the xenomorphs that we know from Alien and Aliens and that the whole franchise are just like one version of this. They're one version of like a transformation. So this show really goes into that more, not necessarily on how that stuff came to be. You can kind of find that in Prometheus, but it goes into like how it does affect different things and how it can affect people and all of that. So episode 4 was good. And the latest one, episode 5, I saw somebody comment that episode 5 was almost like a standalone movie. And it very well was. It very much was almost like a standalone Alien movie. Very similar formula in some ways, but different. The other thing, too, that's really interesting about the show is this is a slight spoiler. Slight. Very slight. There's a lot of... Is Replicants Alien or is Replicants Blade Runner? I'm going to say Replicants because it's kind of the same thing. But there's a lot of Replicants in the show. And it's a lot of them dealing with being that. Now, there is a same name in Aliens as in Blade Runner. The company that creates Replicants in Blade Runner, the same name exists in Aliens, but it's only in paying homage. It's not, they're not canon. They're not same universe. Predator and Aliens are. That's a new thing, but not Blade Runner. So the Replicants are kind of learning how to exist, where their place is, what are these creatures, what are they? And that's been a really cool story to tell. The alien itself, the xenomorphs, the whatevers, they're a piece in the story, but they're not the main story. And it was kind of a knock at one point, and now I'm enjoying that. I am enjoying that. So I'm up to date on that show. Enjoying it. Great film. Alien Earth is so good. Good to see you, Germ. I believe first time on the stream. Travel Foodie Warriors. Good to see you, Melissa. Unless it's Wes. Wes could be doing double duty. Synthoid, synthetic, android. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, Replicants or Blade Runner. The aliens look pretty cool as far as I'm concerned. Yep. Mr. Boogedy as well. All right, yeah. Let me add Mr. Boogedy to the list. But yeah, it grew on me. It definitely grew on me. And oh, here it is. It's not really horror per se, but Paradise on Hulu is good. Oh, okay. No, I guess right. So yeah, Alien Earth. the second episode's a bit, but get through that, and I think you'll enjoy it. I said, I think 2 weeks ago, I wish they would do a Blade Runner show. I think that could be interesting, and I believe that's actually in the works, so I'm happy for that. But yeah, check out Alien Earth. The other thing that we started today was Wednesday. Wednesday's back. I had no idea Wednesday was returning today, but part 2 of season 2 has dropped. In a way, I wish it was weekly, because then you can kind of watch it again going into Halloween, but it's only 4 additional episodes. So, we'll knock that out. Season 2, it's good. Season 2 is good. Enjoying it. I won't say too much because I don't think a lot of you've watched Wednesday, so I want to give you a chance. Very much, borrows from Harry Potter, as far as like the school goes and all that, but it's still very entertaining. Good story. My only complaint with Wednesday is, how the Addams Family jokes about death, and they're all about death and all that stuff. But then, like, when people die in the show, they're kind of sometimes like, "Whoa, like, well, almost died." I don't know. That's kind of weird to me. Just my opinion. But I'm still enjoying the show. Still very much enjoying it. Sin in the House. Good to see you. Thumbnail's dope. Thank you. I'd watch that. So it's they dropped 4 episodes for season 2 earlier this summer, and then they just dropped the second 4 today. So 8 episodes total for season 2. Wednesday was slow starting up, but the last episode was so good. Do you mean today's or the second season? I think you mean the second season. I've watched the first season with my daughter. We both loved it. Yeah. You'll like season 2. Season 2 is good. Enjoying it. Thoroughly enjoying it. But Patrick mentioned something. Nope, the last episode of the second season. Okay. Patrick mentioned something, and yeah, well, let's cover it. The Street Fighter movie. So we have the Street Fighter movie coming out. I've posted about it. I think I mentioned it last week. The 50 Cent thing. Maybe that was this week. I don't remember. But today we got a full character list of every actor and actress and who they're playing in Street Fighter. I'm not seeing it. I am not seeing it. I don't mean the movie. I'm not seeing the vision. It's not clicking for me. I mean, Alexander Volkanovsky, who's a UFC fighter, playing this guy Joe from America. Volk is from like Australia, isn't he? Everybody here, who's Joe? But like Eric Andre is in here. Like, again, we knew about Andrew Schultz. This is one of the only ones that makes sense. It's literally one of the only ones that makes sense to me. Maybe Blanca. But 50 Cent is Balrog. Cody Rhodes is Guile, I guess. I don't know who some of these other ones are. This guy from Warrior. Yeah, it's from, yeah. I'm going to have to see a trailer. I'm really going to have to see a trailer. Because it's just not... I'm hoping it's a pump fake. I am really hoping that this movie's a pump fake. And then it turns out it's like animated or something. And they tricked us. I think that'd be funny. But some of these people as like the characters, I got nothing. And I feel like they're trying to make it a comedy. It's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. They're not taking it like Mortal Kombat or the first of the new Mortal Kombat movies. The next one seems to be more comedy with Carl Urban, but this one just seems like they're going straight comedy on it. I don't know. Please don't do this movie. Second season before the break. Okay, yep. It's such a mix mash of the cast. I just like the OG Street Fighter movie. Yeah, this first Mortal Kombat will be glorious. It will be because they're both coming out around the same time. Raul Julia as Bison back in the day was awesome. Yep. Animated in like the pixel block style would be fun. That's true. It's like we're back in the early 90s with Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Yep. What if it's 3D animated like mocap suit stuff? I could see that. He means motion capture. I can see that. But I don't know. I'm not seeing the vision here. I'm not. All right, let's go look at the HasLab. Let's see how that's doing. Before we fully jump to that, as a reminder, this weekend is TerraCon up here in Massachusetts. I will be going on Sunday. And it's my first horror convention. If you saw today's Ghostbuster video, then you know what I'm about to say. But if you haven't, I'll tell you. The Proton Pack went on the fritz yesterday. So I got to do some work on that thing. And I don't know if I have time to do it before the convention. So if I go to, I'm going to the convention, but I might have to go no cosplay, or if I do, it's no Proton Pack. Unless I can fix it in time, which I don't think I'll be able to do, but I'll try. But you got some fun guests going to this thing. I'm not the biggest autograph person. Sometimes I feel like they're just too expensive for who the people are. But I would, Guar is going to be there. Never met Guar. Let's go up to the full list one more time. Actually, no. I want the guest celebrities. Yeah, so you do have some fun ones on here. Like I mentioned, Elvira's gonna be there. Bill Duke's gonna be there. So I don't know if it's like if I want to like pay for a bunch of autographs, But it'll be cool to see them. I'm just overly more. I talked about it the other day. I'm in my head about how do I document this because I'm only there the one day. Never been to a horror convention before. Never been to this convention before. So what's the style of video I'm going to go for? That's my main thing. But it's going to be a good time. Yeah, Tremors, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Stay tuned for that footage. Speaking of dead bodies. First of all, pre-ordered this. Excited for that. Still in stock. I'm going to go back to something else afterwards. But so we have the HasLab still funding. We have 4 days to go. And it just passed the halfway mark to 8,000. Now, traditionally, HasLabs do have a huge bump at the end. It's a final day push. But this is one of those where, again, I could be wrong. And I'd be more than happy to be wrong again. I've been wrong before. I didn't think the Ghost was going to unlock all the tiers. I didn't think that the Snowcat was going to unlock all the tiers. And both of them did. But Star Wars does not have the best track record. So will the Star Wars fans show up in the final hours to get this thing over the edge? We'll see. But I don't think I've ever seen Hasbro do a tour like they're doing now for this thing. And more specifically, Mr. Steve over there, he's taking this thing on the road. Went to Canada. He was just in Western Massachusetts last weekend. I don't know where he is this weekend, but he's going somewhere else with this thing. So their whole angle here is if you see it in person, it's going to blow your mind. And I don't doubt that's the case. Truly don't. But nothing about this thing says, and nothing about my collection where it currently stands says, oh, I'm excited to spend $450 on a vehicle. So, yeah. We'll see. But I feel like I see many declined cards in the future. Yeah, I feel like most of you are on the same page where you're not backing this thing. The exception being General Kenobi plans to back it. And I feel like Geek Strong said he was not. I think he mentioned how he backed 2 Cantinas, but I think he's not backing this one. Other things of note, the X-Men Sentinel is delayed. I'm going to blame that on tariffs. So I'm wondering how many other HasLabs and projects are delayed, like the Cantina. I know the Mondo figures are getting delayed again. So I'm wondering if that kind of stuff is also hurting the funding here. You guys are logged in on the Gen X podcast. There we go. Unfortunately, this is not my thing. Yeah. It was funny talking to you guys, and we're going down. Going downtown in an early round. And then I just need to adjust you real quick. It was funny talking to you guys over on Gen X podcast because I just assume that most of us in this space are toy collectors as well and full-on cosplayers. And that's not the case, it seems like, with your group. Like, you guys collect some things, but you're not like, I gotta get everything, like some other collectors I know, like myself. So I found that very interesting. But this one, you know, for those of you who don't know, the Gen X podcast crew, they are in their local Star Wars chapter. I believe you guys are part of the 501st. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they're in their local Star Wars chapter, like full-on cosplay, like going to events, the whole nine. So safe to say, they're above average Star Wars fans. I would say they're hardcore Star Wars fans. But yet, even they are like, this is not doing it for me. So if you're struggling to get the hardcore fans, then I believe you got a problem. Yeah, 501st and Rebel Legion. There you go. So, but you know, at the same time, I thought the Ghost was too niche. Really did. I really thought the Ghost was too niche. And look where it ended up. So, what do I know? What do I know? Also on the site here, we had the 2-pack of Cyclops and Jean roll out this week. So I got that one on pre-order. I was really excited to see that. But what's been rocking the community, see if there's any other examples here. Yeah. What's been rocking the community has been this $27.99. And people are not only seeing the $27.99 here, they're starting to see $27.99 in stores. And Greg Cook posted a video where he saw Stormtroopers for $30. Basic Stormtrooper figures were $29.99. This is all US. I'm failing to see the surprise. I'm failing to see the surprise. Like, we all know the reasons here. I've talked about it ad nauseum. I got plenty of videos on them. But, you know, I experienced it today in my friend group where I just forget that not everybody like looks into stuff in an obsessive way. They'll, for example, let me adjust this. This is bothering me. This is not a knock on me. I'm not knocking myself, but I'm going to use myself as an example here. There are some of you here that a lot of the tariff conversation that you guys hear about, it might come from this show. Or you hear about it in passing, but like the longest amount of like a single conversation about tariffs, you might get it from this show. So I forget routinely that a lot of people have their go-to commentators, their go-to creators for news. They don't necessarily get their news all the time, not just from the news, because the news is kind of like, they're in a bad spot, to say the least, legacy media. But they also don't just sit there and watch hours and hours of Senate committee hearings and House committee meetings and all these other BS things. Like, most people just don't listen to that. And going back to the Hasbro thing, most people don't sit there and listen to earnings calls. Whatever you may know about a Hasbro earnings call might come from this channel. Not a lot of toy YouTubers talk about Hasbro earnings. In fact, there's a YouTuber I watch that said you're a loser if you listen to earnings calls. Like, who gives a F is what he said. And I was like, no, I guess if you want to be ignorant about it, but then you can't go and complain when you do see price increases if they're telling you there's going to be price increases. Or you can't be surprised when a line's dead when that same line doesn't get talked about on any earnings call. And if it does, it's not in a positive way. So there is useful information out there when it comes to this stuff. And I have to remember that not everybody is as mentally impaired as I am, that you're going to sit there and listen to it for hours and listen to the Hasbro CEO talk about profit margins and stuff for an hour and 20 minutes, or the Walmart CFO talk about it. Like, so I guess going full circle here, I forget sometimes that not everybody, based on who they listen to, talks about this kind of thing. I just assume that if I'm paying attention to it, everybody's paying attention to it. I don't know, first person mentality, whatever. But, you know, the $30 on the shelf for a Stormtrooper, $27.99 for Dr. Doom, I'm not seeing a surprise because they've been saying it for months. We, at a certain point, will not be able to eat the tariffs anymore. The last wave of earnings calls, we are no longer going to be eating tariff costs. So, in my mind, the 2-pack of Gene and Cyclops for $50, $25 a figure, I was like, oh, I'm getting old school prices on this. This is the deal. If they're going up to $28 for a single figure, or even worse, $30 for a single figure, it's crazy. But that's going to be everything in your life. Everything in your life is going up. It's going up. And the one thing that they said on the Hasbro call, I don't remember if I said it on stream. I know I texted some people about it, but they said a lot of the companies are not ordering the holiday stuff like they normally do. They either have not ordered already for holiday, or they're very delayed in ordering stuff because they're just not sure what's happening. And what's making things worse at the moment, finding out the tariff stuff may have been illegal this whole time. So the second that dropped, I don't blame any toy company for being like, oh, wait, these tariffs might be going away. Delay everything. Delay everything. And let's see if these things go back to normal. Because that got announced, and then the Mondo emails start going out? The delayed on Spangler? We found out the Sentinel figure is delayed. So these companies very much pay attention to the news. And a lot of us should also be paying attention because it affects us as well. Hate to break it to you. In fact, there's some YouTubers out there I've seen in videos that are still saying, I don't want to get political about this stuff. And I'm like, I don't know what else to tell you. You can't say I don't want to get political and then complain about price increases. And I went back and I listened to a tariff video I did about 3 months ago or 6 months ago. And in that video, they pointed out how in 2021, Trump raised the tariffs from like 5% on China stuff to 20%. And I was like, oh. I remember when all of us were complaining when the Marvel Legend figures went from $19.99 to $22.99, and then all of a sudden we heard rumors about $24.99 back in 2021-22. See, it's not always greed. Sometimes they just have to do it. And that's where a company like Super 7 gets screwed, because Super 7, their prices have been wild from the jump, but they've been giving you less and less things with their stuff. So now them complaining about tariffs, everybody's like, I don't believe you because you always were charging me the most. As I say all the time, them's the breaks. Them's the breaks. Marvel Legend prices are high for sure. Yep. Main character syndrome. Yep. Yeah, $30. Yep. So $60 in Canada, probably. A lot of people elect officials is to take our hands off the wheel and expect our lives to be on autopilot. Society only realizes things feel wrong when felt in the richest of areas. You know, I was listening to, I couldn't get through it. I tried. I listened to Tim Dillon on Joe Rogan today. And I jumped in at the part where he was like, oh, I'm predicting it now. Marjorie Taylor Greene will run for president in, what was that, 2028? He's like, I know it's going to happen. I feel it. He went on this whole thing. I think it was all a joke. But Joe was not picking up on any of the humor. Ironically, the comedian always fails to pick up on the jokes on his own show. Anyway, the things he was saying about her, I was like, oh, like, I wonder if some of that's public perception. And not enough people look into, like, all the crazy shit she's said over the years and why you probably shouldn't vote for her. But you don't look at that stuff. You just kind of trust, oh, there's an R next to the name. They must be for me. Oh, there's a D next to the name. They must be for me. I'm seriously considering shifting to 3D printing dials and vehicles for existing figs in my collection and printing movie props. It's a real conversation. Yeah. It's kind of like what I was saying with my Daily Planet a couple days ago, how, you know, instead of upgrading cameras all the time, have fun upgrading with cheaper things like filters, mounts, a new tripod to help you get a different angle. Like, upgrade the little things to have fun versus, to get better, I need a new camera. I need a new body. I need a new lens. That kind of thing. Spoiler alert, I work in a local government, so we hear a lot of it. There you go. And you're in Florida, so you definitely hear a lot of it. Scooby Life in the house. It's been a while. Good to see you. I think everyone's going to start supporting crowdfunders for action figures in the future. I mean, maybe. Maybe. Because here's the thing. It's similar to the Mondo conversation. The Mafex conversation. Buy it right, or buy it once, buy it right. Right now, there's that Samurai Jack figure that looks amazing. 100 bones. I'm like, I'm never buying a Samurai Jack figure ever again if I buy that thing. It's got everything I need. The Mondo Ghostbusters, same thing. 100 bones. I'm not buying another Mondo Ghostbuster ever again, or a real Ghostbuster ever again. It's everything I need. So, with the crowdfund stuff, yeah. I was watching today, somebody got the flip ore from Mad Hatter. I don't know what it was going for, but maybe, let's say the flip ore, which is a old school He-Man body type, let's say that thing was $25-$30. Are you going to keep buying those if he keeps releasing them, or are you just going to buy one? Like, you're trying to really help him out and go all in on that. There's a bunch of lines that are on Big Bad Toy Store that go for like $40 a figure already. So as things get worse and their costs go up, those $40 figures are going to become $50 figures, $55 figures. You're going to support them because they're just small toy companies on characters you have no idea who they are. You don't know the lore. You don't know the lore or anything. You're just, and I'm not telling you not to do it. I just feel like it's a small community of people that would do that. Agreed on the camera gear, yeah. Mega Dan in the house. Good to see you. So, I don't know. I don't know what is you like. What do you guys feel is your break point? We talked about this a couple years ago. I wish I could remember the number I said where I was like, oh, if a Marvel Legend gets to that number, I'm out. I wish I could remember. I'll try to find it somewhere. But for all of you, what is your I'm out price point on basic figures? Not necessarily WWE basics, because I know Ultra knows what I'm talking about. But like on a regular basic action figure, like Captain America, right? Captain America now goes for $24.99. There's a whole bunch of them at Target right now. They're doing their shelf form or wave where it's like, oh, we flood it with this character because there's always going to be a desire for this character. $24.99. What is your I'm out of a line price point? Cutthroat says 60. Generation says 30 Canadian. Now, Craft says 30 for generic. Yeah, I want you guys to, and gals, to factor in the generic basic thing, meaning it's a line that you normally would buy multiple from. What's the break point? Right now, I've been enjoying the hell, and I got my shipping notification for Ryu, but I've been enjoying the hell out of this Storm Arena Ken figure. Loving it. Speaking of Street Fighter. Absolutely loving it. Now, this thing retails on Big Bad Toy Store at the moment, I believe $27.99. And then, just like with Ken, I got an email saying that because of tariffs, they got to raise it to $29.99. If I want to cancel my order, I can do so. This thing feels better than a Marvel Legend. Comes with more accessories than a Marvel Legend. Comes with flight stand stuff, multiple heads, effects. The plastic feels better. This, to me, is $30. I'm all in. I'm good paying $30 for this. I'm only going to get a couple. But everybody else, I feel like I'm at my max point. 25 a figure is my Marvel Legend max. $40. I mean, I haven't bought a NECA figure in so long, but I think Sinclair was my last NECA figure, if I remember. But $40 for NECA is my max. Super 7, there's been nothing for a while that's got my interest for Super 7 to make me say I'm going to pay full price for a Super 7. Stand up. You bastard. There you go. Yeah. Those are always tricky, right? And it's become normal to us to say, all right, for figure arts, I can pay 35 to 80. Literally depends on the day when they decide to price point that thing. But let's go to Big Bad Toy Store before we wrap today's episode. Right now, hey, this is a good deal. The Ghost Rider with the motorcycle, my figure of the year 2 years ago. Was it last year? $42, it's not bad. I know Dada Films picked up this thing, the Transformer G.I. Joe collab. He was loving that. This is on sale. I know a lot of people wanted this card back. I like the other Goblin that I got, so I don't think don't need that. I don't even know what section I'm in. I guess I'm just in sales. Let's go up to the on sale. Daily deals first. Nothing. Yeah, 16. The G.I. Joe figures for Super 7 at $16. That's a deal. That's a super deal. Super deal. He does. Oh, Wily Cat are back in stock at $65. Damn. I know a lot of people are waiting for that. The Turtles are in stock. I do want to get them. Patrick did a great review on those 2003 Turtles. I will get those at some point on sale. Not paying full price for those. The Thunder Tank's on sale. Thunder Tank on sale, the OG one, and yet they're still releasing a new version for Amazon that's smaller, I believe, and costs more money. Why? Why would you do that? I don't know. But let's go down to the fall savings. Okay, that's where we were before. Let's go to new and popular. See if anything meets our fancy. The Professor X, if that thing if that was like 25 bones, I'd do it. Just to say I had it on the shelf. A lot of bullshit. Remember, are they still doing this line? Are we good on this line? Did they stop? That was a waste. Absolute waste. Oh, just so you guys know, after last week's stream, I did order the Super 7 Tyrannosaurus for $20. I think normally $65. So I did order that. Man, this is junk. Yeah, it's just junk. I don't know who's buying those figures, man. There's a market for them, though. There's a market. R.I.P. Diamond Selects. Oh, Budgie Pig, $32. I think he was like 40-ish something when he was in Target. 32 is not bad. Hasbro missed a big opportunity to do the Transformers and Aliens collab. They could have done a Xenomorph Queen Predacon. That's a cool idea. That's actually a cool idea. Crazy, yep. I think they may have stopped the Holocron Black Series figures since they sold very poorly. You know, you never know. You never know. Nice deal to pick up, yeah. Century in the house. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. And yes, it was great catching up. You gotta come back on stream. We gotta get you streaming again. We'll do a couple more pages of this, see if anything new popped up that were in $30. Got Matt in the house too. Good to see you. Scrolling some sales to see if anything grabs our interest this week. We of course made some purchases last week. A lot of this is junk. NECA ET. Oh, did you guys see the was it Collecting Havoc? Somebody posted it today. The Ultimate NECA Doc Brown from Back to the Future 2 showing up at Ross. $20. Great figure. Fragile figure. It's a NECA figure. But $20. Good price. Good price. Credit collection. Do you guys remember in 2020 when like the Mando figures were like flying off the shelves? And then Book of Boba Fett was announced, and we were all like, oh my God, this is it. Boba Fett's going to freaking cook. This show's going to be amazing. It's a no for me, dog. There's Doc right there. Yeah, at Ross, they have the Ultimate Doc Brown for $20. Sesame Street, I'm looking out for a good deal. Yeah, I would love to get those figures on sale. Would love to get those figures on sale. Yeah, the Walmart exclusives were crazy to find. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. He was a Walmart exclusive. And then I feel like they sent him to Target on a repaint or repackage. It was different. I remember looking at that one and being like, there's something different about this versus the Walmart version. Oh my God. I remember this Flash Gordon was collecting all the dust at Walmart in like 2022. My God. My God. These Ross finds never happen in the South Florida area. Toys or sneakers in my size. I don't even have Ross. I went to Ross for the first time. I did that video for you guys. Very lackluster. That Ross was in New York somewhere on my travels back home. But we don't have Ross up here. I did find an Ollie's up here by the in-laws. So I've gone there 2 times. I think I owe you guys a hunt video. I think I recorded one the other day and I didn't post it. Not a thing about it. But yeah, if I had a Ross, it'd be dangerous seeing some of these things that show up. They toned down Boba Fett. They toned Boba Fett way down. I think they were trying to appeal to a younger crowd, and an older crowd with money was disappointed. One of the things that, hang on. I'll end on this urban legend. So some of you know this, some of you don't know this, but there's urban legend in the Star Wars world, Star Wars Disney world. And this is not a Disney hate piece, but the urban legend is that when Disney purchased Star Wars from George, there was an agreement that the legacy characters being used, he would still get something for it, whether it was money, whether it was rights to do X, Y, and Z. I don't know. If they're using legacy characters that he created, George will benefit somehow from it. So the plan was, we have to move forward and create new characters and get rid of the old characters. So that way George is not reaping this benefit and we can move forward. The problem is they were doing this in existing timelines that we all know and love. Skywalker Saga being that main timeline. Except they made it, instead of a 2-generation thing, they extended it to 3 generations of Skywalker timeline. So that already caused an issue. That already caused a mess with the story writing, and they're killing the characters off and let the past die, that whole thing. Trying to get rid of the old characters, push forward the new characters, maximize profit on the new characters. Wasn't working. So in the book of urban legend at Disney Star Wars Disney, however you want to say it, they came up with a story that was a older character has to get younger character from point A to point B, avoiding obstacles, right? Classic escort mission from a video game. Now it's pretty standard. I mean, Last of Us, everything does this formula. Old disgruntled character, younger character. Logan, everybody does it. So Star Wars, they had that idea going. They were like, we want to do one of these stories. They allegedly had that storyline designed for Obi-Wan Kenobi. They wanted to do an Obi-Wan Kenobi takes like takes Luke Skywalker, does X, Y, and Z. Then they're like, no, we're not trying to do the old school characters. We got to do new. So they reworked the story from a movie that's an escort mission into a Mandalorian story, and it was going to be Boba Fett. But they didn't have that second piece. Who's the younger character? We're not trying to use legacy characters. Switch that up. Tweak it so that it's not Boba Fett. It's just somebody else who's like a Boba Fett. Enter Din Djarin, the Mandalorian. Show's a huge hit. Everybody's like, but where's Boba Fett? Like, where's Boba Fett and all this stuff? So Disney goes, yeah, you know what? F it. Let's start using legacy characters. Enter Boba Fett into the Mandalorian. And then we'll give him his own show. Boba Fett shows up in Mandalorian. Pretty good couple episodes with him. Now they can set up a TV show. TV show shows up. Some of the worst Star Wars you've ever seen, except for the 2 episodes that featured the Mandalorian that were probably going to be used for the Mandalorian. But they were like, reading the room on making this thing, let's just throw 2 Mando episodes in here. Get it done with. But Disney being Disney is still like, hey, we need to do some more legacy character stuff now. Let's get the boys back together. Let's get Hayden. Let's get Ewan. Give them all the money. Great. What story should we do? Shit, we used the old disgruntled character and the younger character story already with Mando and Grogu. What are we going to do? Do it anyway. And instead of it being a movie, we're going to make that a TV show as well. Enter Kenobi, which is kind of like the same shit. And I think, first of all, us at Nerd Affiliated, I think, and you guys can let me know, as far as I know, we're in the minority of people who like loved Kenobi. Like week to week, I was really enjoying Kenobi. I accepted it for its cheesiness. I accepted it for what it was. But I was like, it's a fun show. My only issue with Kenobi, in a way, was the way he gave up on everything. I understand reasons for why he would give up. And I think we talked about it in the reviews. Like, in a way, literally everything happened because of him. Because he failed to realize Anakin was a problem. But they did it again where they just take away a character's powers and make part of the story the character learning how to use their powers again. Spider-Man 3. Or Spider-Man 2? Spider-Man 2. Superman 2. Wonder Woman 84. Like, they run into this wall where they're like, what are we going to do with this character? I don't know. How do we depower them? I know. The powers just go away. And I know they're like, oh, he's hiding from Vader. That's why he did it. He disconnected from the Force. It has never worked like that. And I don't accept that. What's up, Weed? Good to see you from Germany. I hope you're not a bot. Because that would be really exciting to have a German viewer. Look, if they bring Hayden back as Anakin, they can take my money. I don't care. Fun fact about Matt, he also has not watched Clone Wars. And I feel like for a lot of us, even though we like Hayden now, after he took all that hate for years, I think Clone Wars Anakin is also a really good version and scratches that itch, at least for me. I think the problem with Hayden right now is that he's gotten older in real life, and we saw maxed out old Anakin in, before he became Vader. So like, how do you go back and de-age to do all that? I mean, technology is getting crazy, but I feel like at this point, the only Anakin story I'd be interested in seeing, because I've seen, Clone Wars exists, right? Disney's definitely going to do a live action Clone War type thing with Anakin and Ewan, or Hayden and Ewan. They're going to do it. At this point, they're like, F it. But like, Clone Wars was just so good. In my mind, I'm like, why? The only Anakin story I'd be interested in seeing at this point. By the way, I wish we would leave the Skywalker saga for once, but if we're going to keep milking this freaking skinny skin and bones cow that's got nothing left, if we're going to keep milking that damn thing, at this point, like, show me like Anakin becoming a Jedi, like doing the trials, or, I mean, he didn't have proper trials, but like, what was enrollment like for him? What was it like when he started traveling with Obi-Wan? In the 2003 Tarkovsky Clone Wars, they drop little Easter eggs of like, hey, remember that time we were like stuck in this? Or remember that time this happened? Yeah, maybe show me that stuff. Like, show me a younger Anakin learning how to use the Force, learning how to use a lightsaber. Maybe that would get me going. But at this point, because I've seen so much in Clone Wars, I'm like, I don't really need another Anakin story. I've already seen so much. Biggest issue with Kenobi is that they had Obi-Wan and Darth Vader encounter each other when it was made clear by Lucas the two never encounter each other. after the duel on Mustafar until A New Hope?
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
Agreed. And I think when we talked about it on this channel, I mean, it's been so long at this point, but I hated the final fight. The final fight between those two, it was one of those things where it's like dark, I can't see, like they're just throwing shit at each other. It's like, whatever. It is terrible. I found issue with that, of course, when they encounter each other. They encounter each other twice. Obviously, Obi-Wan had to win because he lost the first time they met. So there's no way he loses the first time and then they meet again in New Hope, and now Vader's, somewhat timid. I like the lore idea that the reason you don't have a crazy ass fight in New Hope between the two of them, outside the fan one that people made, the reason you don't have a crazy fight is because Vader is actually afraid of Kenobi. So he's very defensive. I do like that idea. So, Kenobi whipping him again in the TV show, I was like, all right, I'll accept that and accept the fact that that whooping is what made Vader timid in New Hope. But the thing I hated even more than your point, which was a very good point, the only thing I hated more about that show was when Anakin said, Anakin's, whatever the phrase was, but it was like, Anakin's dead, I killed him. I hated that. I fucking hated that. Because to me, it lessens Obi-Wan saying it in New Hope to Luke. When Obi-Wan tells Luke, Vader betrayed and murdered your father, after us seeing everything, I was like, oh, that's his interpretation of what happened. To Obi-Wan, he truly believes Anakin's dead. He believes that my brother died because this other person who I don't recognize, Vader, killed him. All symbolically. But because Hayden says it in the show, I'm like, oh, that's his concept and you took it. And to me, that ruined it. Ruins that moment. Absolutely ruins that moment. And people have told me that it's a stupid thing to say. It's a stupid, why are you reaching so far? I've heard it all in the comments when I said it the first time. I will never drop that. To me, I love the symbolism. Vader betrayed Anakin versus Anakin said it and then Obi-Wan just repeats it. I hate that from a storytelling perspective. And of course, we all know the history. Originally, that actually was the story until they were writing Empire, and then they decided, hey, what if we did a twist and Vader and Anakin actually were the same person? That wasn't the original idea when Obi-Wan said it in the movie. But I truly loved the symbolism of it, and then they took that. Disney went Disney. I apply suspension of disbelief and ignore him being older, but I'll have to check out Clone Wars. Your other recommendations have totally checked the boxes of what I want to see. Also, which Clone Wars series is the better one? Great question. I loved the 2003. I loved the 2003 Clone Wars so much that when I saw Revenge of the Sith in theaters, I hated that movie. I hated that movie because the 2003 was so good. They introduced Grievous. And he was so good that when we got what we got in the movie, I was like, what the F is this? And Anakin turning Darkseid coming out of the 2003 animated movie didn't make any sense. All the signs were on the wall that he would turn for no reason. And then he turned, and I was like, why are we all surprised by this? Literally, the painting was on the wall. There's actually an episode about painting on the wall in the 2003. Still love it. Tarkovsky's one of my favorite animators, favorite storytellers. So I'd say watch that first because it's a shorter watch. It's only 2 seasons. And the first season, back when it first released, it was 4-minute episodes on Toonami. It was 4-minute episodes in between 2 different shows. Second season, they gave it, I think, 15 minutes. It wasn't even 30. So I'd start with 2003. Now, the Clone War cartoons, the ones that we all know, the actual canon one, the 3D animated one, came out. I hated it when it came out. I saw the movie in theaters with my little cousin. Everybody fell asleep in that theater except for me and some other random kid who was running around. And as the show went on and became more mature, because they realized who the audience was, I fell in love with the show. That show, to me, was so good, it made me love Revenge of the Sith. If not for the 2007 Clone Wars, whenever they came out, if not for that TV show, I would hate Revenge of the Sith. But because of that TV show, seeing Anakin progress, seeing him do so much for the Jedi, for the Republic, see even Senator Palpatine big upping him. Hey, like, you're pretty good. When are you going to be general? Or you are general? Nice. I've never seen such a young Jedi master. Oh, you're not master? That's crazy. Why you let them treat you like that? Seeing those little Easter eggs, little seeds. Seeing, him fall in love with Padme. All that stuff that happens in a cartoon, when the movie happens and a turn happens, it makes more sense to me. And then the final one, there's an episode in the cartoon where Anakin goes dark side. And I'm not going to spoil it because you haven't seen it, but they write it off very well. You probably figure out how, but they write it very well where that happens. You're like, oh, wow, that kind of evil's there. And then the turn makes sense. So I'd watch 2003 first, just get it out the way. And then I would go to 2007 or whatever it was. And my suggestion is always, when you're getting into the 3D Clone Wars, read the descriptions, watch all the episodes first that have Jedi blank in it. Obi-Wan, Anakin, Ahsoka. Watch all the Jedi-related stuff first, just to get through it. It's easier for you to ignore the animation style when you're watching characters that you know already and storylines you're somewhat familiar with. Watch those. Then you can go back, watch all the clone stuff, watch it straight through. In my opinion, the clone stuff's even better than the Jedi stuff, but I know the clone stuff's hard to get into because you have no connection. Whereas going into it, you already have connections with Anakin, Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, Yoda, that stuff. Actually, the first episode is all about Yoda. So yeah. Ending up, let's see. How about Avengers versus the new Avengers movie or show in the future? Reboot. They just need to reboot it at this point. It's done. It's done. I was watching the What If trailer and in our group chat. We were discussing how it's somewhat interesting. You know, it's not following the What If zombie story from the comics or anything. I didn't read it. Sal read it. He said it had a good start, terrible finish. But even when I was watching the trailer for the What If Zombies, I was like, these are all the new Avengers. So Disney's again really trying to push the fact that, like, hey guys, you should really give Elenia, whatever her name is, a shot. You should really give Red Guardian a shot. You should really give all these other people a shot. Like Cap and Tony are gone. And it's just not going to work. It is just not going to work. So I think at this point they should just reboot it. Give us a new Steve Rogers. Give us a new Tony Stark. Because the public, as far as they know, that's Cap. That's Iron Man. They do not care about anybody else wearing the mantle. They don't care about anybody else. Arnold is in the house. Arnold Schwarzenegger showed up. How many Hasbro Pulse 84 packs did you pre-order? Sadly, just one. I was hoping by now I'd be way more wealthy than I am, so I can order more than one. That Hasbro 84 pack, which we still don't know when the end date is. We still don't know anything. Is a far better deal than anything else on the market. To me, including the Halloween.com one they just announced. So it's such a good deal that I'm like, I almost want to buy multiple because I'm like, this is the best Proton pack you can buy by a long shot. That out the gate you can work with. But it's just hard to justify spending that kind of money. They should just make that thing for sale. You know, do this pre-order run and then release a more dumbed down version that comes in and out of stock randomly. And I'd pick those bitches up. Little by little. Little by little. But, all right. That's a wrap. That's an episode. I appreciate you guys being here. I was scrolling Big Bad as I was wrapping up, just in case. But there's been nothing to get excited about. Although, actually, I did look this up the other day. And Generation X-Wing, if you're still here, they do have some Ghostbuster stuff in stock. And the other day, they had these on sale. They had some Plasma Series Wave on sale. So you can pick up Slime Zedmore. And he was actually at Ollie's. He was the first Ghostbuster figure I bought. That was an Ollie's purchase for like $10, I think. So you'll pay more than an Ollie's, but they're not at Ollie's anymore anyway. Slimed out Ray. Let's see. Well, that's cool. The whole Afterlife wave on sale for $100. Some of these are like pushing 50 on their own over on Amazon. The Funkos were on sale somewhere. Maybe it was on Amazon. They're on sale. You can find her cheaper on Amazon. Afterlife wands. He's not on sale, but that's pretty much retail. So if you want that, it's a good price. Yeah, sale price. Yeah, the incense burner is good. Yeah, even the individual Afterlife figures are on sale. So if you did not get them, or you didn't get all of them, you're missing a couple, you can still pick them up. And the rest of these are sold out. So, yeah. I saw that the other day and I was like, oh, I forgot to talk about that on the stream. Speaking of Ghostbusters, Jazzware is making a Matt Cardona. Yeah, I want to pick that one up. I do want to pick that one up. But hey, I appreciate you guys being here. I can see the cat hair on my computer. On the mic. So I think that's why I've been so itchy this whole time. We'll get through. We'll get through. Again, thank you guys for being here. Always a pleasure. Always a good time. Don't forget the new merch is now live at nerdaffiliated.com. Channel members that are of the $2.99 tier, you get your I forget what the percentage is off you get. I'll put it in the space. So you get that. But hey, I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate the support, even if you guys only just lurk and don't say anything. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. TerrorCon this weekend. I'll be there on Sunday once again. So if you're there, if you're heading over to TerrorCon, I will see you there. Will I be a Ghostbuster there? Probably. Will I be packed out? Probably not. Let me know if you're seeing any movies. Let me know if you saw Alien Earth. Let me know if you saw Wednesday. Let me know if there's any other shows I should be watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace. I'm at it.
Specifically vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
Yeah, come on, push a button. Push a goddamn button.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.